But for now, we're going to head back to Massachusetts. This is the case we've been following there, day 2 of the trial, the disappearance of Anna Walshe murder trial.
Anna's husband, Brian, is facing first-degree murder in relation to her death. And investigators say that his internet searches, which Marie Pereira can't get over, none of us can, are huge. They're a huge part of this case. He was searching on his son's iPad. How long before a body starts to smell? Best ways to dispose of body. Her body, by the way, never been found, but he admits that it was her body parts in those bags that he dumped in dumpsters.
Let's head back to the courtroom now. A new witness has taken the stand, and you may remember this name. This is from the Karen Reed case, Massachusetts State Police Trooper Nicholas Guarino.
Trooper Guarino, were you working on Sunday, January 8th, 2023?
Yes, I was.
And were you assisting with the execution of a search warrant at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset?
Yes.
And what was your assignment at that execution of the search warrant?
I was assisting with the search of the home, and if any digital devices were located, I was to take them and put them into evidence bags and then hold on to them to transport back to the DA's office.
Okay. And what digital devices in general did you seize that day?
There were 3 MacBooks, 2 iPhones, and 3 iPads.
Thank you. And were pictures taken during the execution of the search warrant?
Yes, there was a member of Crime Scene Services there photographing where we found items.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to show pictures and publish them to the jury. They've been previously marked and agreed to by the defense.
How many?
It's a very good question, Your Honor. Number 63 through 78, so court reporter has been nice enough to count for me, and we believe that's 16.
All right, so 16 photos, and they are all of digital devices or electronic devices, or they have other things as well?
They are of the electronic devices in the home and then of just the electronic devices separately.
All right. And the defense has agreed to those?
Yes.
All right, great. They're now in evidence as items, exhibits 63 through 78, now in evidence.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. At this time, I'd like to have exhibit 63, 7179. Thank you. Trooper Guarino, can you tell me what that is a photograph of?
Yes, this is the kitchen area. On the kitchen table, there's a red iPhone 13 mini and an Apple iPad. I believe that's the 6 mini.
Ms. Gilman, can you zoom in?
Yeah. Yeah, iPad 6 mini. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And is there a cover on the phone?
Yes, there's the green cover, and you can see the red at the charging port.
Thank you very much. I'd ask for the next exhibit, that being 64, 7208. Can you tell me what this is a photograph of?
This is the, if you want to call it a dining room or eat-in nook on the table. There's 2 MacBooks and a third inside that manila folder.
Ms. Gilman, I'd ask that you zoom in on this, please.
So,
Trooper Guarino, can you explain that, please?
Yes, so the bottom left, there's a gray MacBook. Next to that is another pinkish MacBook, and inside the manila folder with the charging cable, there's another MacBook inside that.
Thank you. I'd ask for the next exhibit, that being exhibit 65, 7414. What is this, Trooper?
This is that pinkish MacBook that was inside the manila folder.
That was on the dining room table?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. And these are all where you initially found those devices?
That's correct.
Thank you. Looking at The next exhibit, Exhibit 66, 7304. Could I please have that? What is this a photograph of, Trooper?
This is the upstairs master bedroom. On the bed, there's the iPhone SE that's plugged into the wall.
And could you zoom in, please? And is that how you found that device?
That's correct.
Thank you. Looking at Exhibit 7637, could you please show that? What is this a photograph of?
This was an Apple iPad, I believe it was 9th gen version. The crib was over it. We could see it stuck under the crib, so we just pulled it out so it could be photographed better.
Could I now please have Exhibit 31, which is already in evidence? What is this a photograph of, Trooper?
This was another Apple iPad that was in the, I believe it's the upstairs children's bedroom.
We're going to get a break. Don't go to where you're watching Court TV Live. We're going to have more of this case we've been watching in Dedham, Massachusetts. When we come back, stay with us.
The disappearance of mother Anna Walshe.
Her husband now charged with her murder.
All eyes on this accused killer.
Mr. Walsh was suspecting his wife of having an affair.
The massive trail of evidence.
This incredible timeline of Google searches.
It shows everything that was in his mind.
He searched how long before a body starts to smell.
The disappearance of Anna Walshe murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Back now to Dedham, Massachusetts. It is day 2 of the disappearance of Anna Walshe's murder trial.
Brian Walshe, the husband, accused of killing his 39-year-old wife, with whom he shared 3 children. Now, before jury selection began last month in this case, he admitted to the lesser charges that he dismembered her body, disposed of her remains in dumpsters, but he maintains he didn't murder her. He says he just woke up and she was dead, and he freaked out and didn't know any better. Didn't know what to do, so he chopped her up.
Yeah, just died suddenly. That's the defense's theory here. So let's head back into the courtroom. We're going to listen to some more of the trooper on the stand, Nicholas Guarino.
Could I please have Exhibit 68, photo 7436. Trooper, could you tell me what this is?
That's the same iPad. We just opened the case to show that the screen had been damaged.
What did you do with those items after you identified them in the house at the search warrant?
So I placed these items into brown evidence bags and put the information on the front of the bag. And then once we had finished doing the search of the home, I transported all of these items back to the Norfolk DA's office to our digital evidence lab.
And what is the digital evidence lab at the Norfolk District Attorney's office?
So at the DA's office, we have a secure digital evidence lab that's a key card and that has an alarm on the door, so only select few can get in there, so we can store digital evidence to keep it powered on, or so we don't lose any information.
And what is in the lab itself?
There's 2 forensic machines, our secure server, and a 3rd computer, and then as well as a Mac PC computer and our gray key.
And who specifically has access to that lab?
At that time, it was myself, Trooper Connor Keefe, and the civilian director of our lab, Samantha Vogt.
And what did you do next after you got to the lab?
The items were photographed, and we created with our case management for the digital evidence, we created a case number for it.
What was that case number?
2023-003.
Then what happened?
With the devices themselves?
Before you looked at the devices themselves.
Oh, yeah. So obviously we had all these devices. We had to write search warrants. And once the search warrants were signed, then we were able to process the digital items.
So you wrote search warrants for the contents of the devices?
That's correct.
And when were those search warrants signed for the contents of the devices?
January 10th of 2023.
I now want to show you photographs and ask if you can identify, well, I want to show you those so that you can identify them for the jury. Looking at what's been marked as Exhibit 69. What is this?
So this is the black iPhone SE. On the back is our label that we created. It says 2023-0003 is an extra 0. _1, showing that's the first item of this case.
And 70 next, please.
This is the front of that same iPhone.
Going to 71.
This is the gray MacBook, item number 3. As you can see the _3, and it says the model and serial number.
72.
Just a wider version of the same MacBook.
Ms. Gilman, 73, please.
This one looks kind of gold, but I believe this is the same gray MacBook, just the cover.
Ms. Gilman, if you could now go to 74.
This is the iPhone 13 mini, item number 5.
And the case has been taken off of that now?
That's correct.
75, please, Ms. Gilman.
And that is the front of the device.
76, please.
Just show that the phone is the passcode. It's locked.
Same device.
Same device, yes.
77, please.
Again, front of the phone showing that it was still active and getting messages.
And 78, please.
This is the Apple iPad Mini 6, I believe, item number 7. It says, again, shows the model and serial number of the device.
You can take that down, Ms. Gilman. So all of those devices and all of the devices that you seized pursuant to a search warrant at the Walshe home at 516 Chief Justice Highway in Cohasset were all Apple products. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And what are Apple devices?
Apple devices, they're just a brand of digital devices, phones, MacBooks, iPads, they're all electronic devices.
That's the manufacturer?
That's correct.
What is an Apple ID?
So the Apple ID is a personalized ID for your Apple devices that can be used to download apps, go to the App Store, download music, movies, wherever you please.
What does a person use their Apple ID for?
As I said, to download items, set up the accounts, it's usually an email address, and then they're able to sync other devices with it if need be.
Can a person have more than one Apple ID?
Registered to a device, yes.
How can an Apple device be secured?
Either Face ID or 4 or 6-digit passcode, or alphanumeric as well.
What is a web browser?
The web browser is whatever program you're using to view the internet, whether it be Microsoft Edge, Safari, Google Chrome.
You mentioned Safari. What specifically is Safari?
So Safari is Apple's web browser that they have installed on all their devices.
All right, Marie Pereira, it's day 2 of this case. Jury still in that sort of I'm a juror phase, but it's going to get boring here pretty quick for them if they've already clicked and figured it out.
Never boring. They're setting it up to show about the searches. He used his children's iPad to do it. It's consciousness of guilt. What you search is a mirror of what is in your brain and your heart. If you look at my searches, you'll see Zara, how to deal with grief, how to stay cute in court TV. It shows who I am, even if I wanted to lie about it.
Marie, you crack me up. Zara's a really good one. I just ordered from there the other day during my online shopping that I was doing. I love Zara. Okay, so Marie, the Google searches, but we see it all the time. And I mean, this, I don't want to say, he says she died suddenly, but I mean, we've known for years now, you cannot be searching things online. It's going to come back to haunt you, but we see it time and time again with these people that commit these crimes.
It was his kid's iPad. He thought that was going to help him.
And maybe that's what he thought. They're not going to know it's my kid's iPad. They're not going to search that, but of course they are.
Of course, and on a serious note, it shows what was in his heart. It shows even a little bit of premeditation. It shows malice. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't passion. It was something he did, and he knew what he did, and he did everything to try to hide it, including during the interview, trying to say that there might have been some third-party culprits who hated him, hated her, and was after her. He did the most to show his guilt, and he really thought he could outsmart the police, and he did not. The jurors are not going to sleep on him. He's going down.
I'm Ellen Timber, and we're going to get a break, and we'll be back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Court TV Live, along with Kelly Craft from Ted Rowlands. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday. We're going to begin the hour where we left off last hour in Massachusetts. Testimony continues for a man accused of killing his wife on New Year's Eve back in 2023.
Prosecutors say that Brian Walshe murdered his wife after he discovered she was having an affair. Then, they say, or he has even talked about it, cut up her body and disposed of it.
Anna Walsh's body's never been found, but prosecutors say they do have surveillance footage of Walshe throwing away large trash bags the day of her murder, and he's admitted that right before jury selection. He came in and pled guilty to those charges, but he said he didn't kill her.
Nope.
Big distinction, according to the defense.
Let's get back into the courtroom now. We're going to have more testimony now from that trooper, Nicholas Guarino.
Their web browsers be used with Apple devices?
Yes.
So I want to talk now about forensically examining devices. When did you begin forensically extracting or making forensic copies of the devices that you seized from the house with the search warrant?
After the search warrants were signed, the 10th we began extracting, but we're limited to one gray key machine, so we have to place one on it, download it, and then we can swap the devices to the next and so forth until we get through everything.
And did any other troopers assist you with the extraction or copying of the devices?
Yes. Detective Lieutenant Ed Keefe, Lieutenant Sean Quirk, and Trooper Connor Keefe were all assisting.
You've discussed Trooper Connor Keefe before, but who are Lieutenant Sean Quirk and Detective Lieutenant Ed Keefe?
At the time, both of them were part of the cybercrime unit for the Mass State Police.
In general, what is a forensic copy of a device? When we create a digital copy of the device, it's all the information that we're able to obtain from the device that we can work from as to not use the device itself and change anything in it. So we always work from that copy to make sure that nothing's changed for, if we have to ever re-image it or if the item's returned, we won't have the device in our hands. How do you keep from changing the data on the original device when you're making a forensic copy?
We employ write blockers. Write is in like WRITE, writing, so we can we can't write to the device. It only writes from the device. So it's a one-way street. That way we can get the information and not change anything on the devices themselves.
And where is the original device kept after it has been forensically copied?
If the item was given on consent, we'll return it as soon as possible. If it's evidence, then it'll get tagged with an evidence number and placed into our evidence room.
So now I want to talk about the MacBook, the item number 3 that it was labeled, the gray MacBook. How did you make a forensic copy of the MacBook?
So for MacBooks, we can't use gray key, so we have to use, I use Celebrate Digital Collector. It's basically a write blocker that plugs into the MacBook itself, and we're able to do a live acquisition of the device to a separate hard drive, creating a copy of everything that's there.
So after you make a copy, then what do you do?
I place that onto our external storage device for the Apple system that we had.
And then what do you do?
And then we'll load it into whatever forensic program we're going to use. So for the MacBooks, I used Axiom program made by Magnet Forensics.
And did you ensure, again, that you used a write blocker for this as well?
Yes, that's correct.
And what did you do with the MacBook after the data had been extracted before you began to analyze?
It was placed back into evidence.
And where is that MacBook, the original MacBook that was taken from the Walshe residence? Where is that right now?
It's at the Norfolk DA's office in our evidence room.
What was the date range, sorry about that, what was the date range that the search warrant allowed you to examine on that MacBook?
December 25th of 2022 to January 8th of 2023 when we seized the device.
And you said that you used Magnet's Forensic Axiom?
Yeah, Magnet Forensics Axiom is the name of their program to view the hard drive contents.
And did that allow you to determine if there was an Apple ID associated with that MacBook computer?
Yes, it did.
And was there an Apple ID associated with the computer?
Yes, it was brw@10saleconsulting.com.
And was there a name associated with the device?
Yes, Brian's MacBook.
How is data stored on a MacBook computer?
Similar to a PC, they have a hard drive or solid state drive. The information just gets saved to the hard drive.
What do you mean that it's saved on the hard drive? Is it in components on the hard drive? Is it specialized in the hard drive?
Yes, so Apple products save to a Knowledge C database, which is Apple's way of, it's like the C drive in a Mac and a PC computer. It's just where the information is located into different parts of the computer.
Does a MacBook store data of websites visited by the device?
Yes, it does.
Does a MacBook computer store the search terms a user inputs into the device?
Yes, it does.
Where on the device is that data stored?
In that Knowledge C database, the actual database, if you drove down into it, is the history.db database, which keeps all of your internet history. It's like a folder in a regular computer.
And is that data automatically stored?
Yes.
During the examination of the data from the gray MacBook, which is item number 3 from that you've labeled item number 3, did you examine data in the internet search history?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What internet web browser was used on the MacBook?
So there are 3 listed, but the majority of all searches were done in Safari.
What is a search engine?
The search engine is whatever, it's like Google, Bing, whatever you go to search whatever search terms you're looking for. So if you type in Boston Bruins into the search engine, it'll bring up all the Bruins web pages in your web browser.
And what's the difference between a search term and an internet history?
As I said, the search terms are the words you put in to do the search. The history is the actual websites visited.
Using the parameters from the search warrant from December 25th of 2022 to January 8th of 2023, were you able to compile the Safari internet search history from the MacBook, which was labeled in your lab as item number 3?
Yes, I was.
And were you able to create a physical printout binder of that?
Yes, that's what this is here.
Your Honor, that has been pre-marked as exhibit number 79, this binder.
Are you offering it?
I am offering it as the next exhibit, please.
I'll see counsel at the side of the bench.
All right, sidebar there in the courtroom. Joe Hennessy's with us. He's a criminal defense attorney, a former police officer, and he is in Massachusetts. This case has gotten a lot of play there in your region in the Northeast. What's your overall take, especially with this defense theory that he woke up and his wife was unexpectedly dead?
I actually find it very hard to accept. But it's a threshold that I think the Commonwealth might have a problem reaching, and I believe that, my opinion, they may create some reasonable doubt here. There's no body, there's no cause of death. The defense does have an uphill climb trying to get into disputing the facts of the searches on his phone. I believe that the Commonwealth is laying that motive, the affair that she's had, the divorce. He's looking for best attorneys. He's looking for best states to get a divorce in. So that is going to cause some issues for the defense. But the biggest factor is the cause of death.
Yeah, and I mean, that is an excellent point. And we haven't talked about it that much on Court TV, just because when we heard the openings of defense counsel, sometimes it's like, ugh, I don't know about this theory and this strategy. But you are right. He has not told them. We haven't heard where the body parts are. Have we heard that?
Well, they know where he deposited, like at his mother's apartment or condo. And they have video of him.
I know they have video.
He's
that's why he pled
admitted that he
guilty to
dumped her
that.
body in these spots. The problem is those body parts are now long gone.
Long gone.
The cause of death. How did she die? Well, he has a story. She just died.
I mean, Joe, what else would you do here as a defense attorney? And I mean, your background is so interesting because you're also, you have that law enforcement background. So you're looking at this from a really interesting perspective that I wouldn't necessarily look at it from.
So looking at the cause of death here, there should be evidence that comes out, and I believe it did come out already, where she was complaining of not feeling ill. I mean, she was feeling ill before flying back from Washington, D.C. back to Massachusetts. So that is a factor to take into consideration. And the sudden death, so that raises the doubt. But what hurts Brian Walshe in this situation are those searches on his phone and his computer. The searches of disposing the body, that's going to get the jury thinking.
Yeah. And before we hit a break quickly, what if you put your police officer hat on, your investigator hat on, isn't your BS meter through the roof when you're dealing with a guy like this?
I'm putting my defense hat on and my former police officer hat on. I don't know where to flip right now. I believe that the defense in his opening statement was excellent.
Oh,
he raised that.
You liked that. Interesting. Wow.
I liked his opening statement. I loved how he got me thinking.
Get you thinking.
All right.
And
all he needs is one juror.
That's all he needs is one juror.
So you get thinking. All right, let's get a break. We'll get back in the courtroom. We'll pick it up right after the sidebar breaks up. Stay with us.
Oh, they good.
The disappearance of Anna Walshe.
Her husband now charged with her murder.
All eyes on this accused killer.
The disappearance of Anna Walshe murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, nearly 3 years after Anna Walshe vanished, her husband stands trial for her murder. We'll break down today's dramatic testimony from the case against Brian Walshe.
Closing Arguments tonight at 8, 7 Central, only on Court TV.
For you.
Back now to Massachusetts for the disappearance of Anna Walshe case.
The Serbian real estate exec was last seen January 1st, 2023, while celebrating New Year's with friends, her husband. Everyone was having a good time, but that was it.
Hours later, prosecutors say that her husband, Brian Walshe, killed her, dismembered her body, and then disposed of her remains. Her body's never been found. So why don't we go ahead and get you back into the courtroom now? They've been taking a look at the devices.
We're getting close to what was on those devices.
And so at least that's going to, pick things up a little bit. Hear what those Google searches are. The jury, I don't think, is going to like that very much. So let's get you back in there.
Database it is?
That's correct.
What is what is evidence number? I think I skipped over that, sorry.
Yeah, no, the evidence number is just the name of the disk, the hard drive, the image that we created.
Because this is a forensic software?
Yes.
Okay. What is recovery method?
The recovery method is how the information was pulled from the data extraction. So there's two options, parsing or carving. Parsing just pulls the immediate information that the tool sees, where carve goes deeper into the database to try to find stuff to pull the information. It's just different locations and different means of getting the information so I can see it.
What is item ID?
The item ID is the ID number for this whole image we're seeing.
Now, often there are two records with the same time when you go down in the records.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see the exact same time. Why is that?
So this one here shows parsing. If you scroll down to record 1953, it's the same date and time stamp as the top one. It's just the recovery method is showing carving. So it's gone to a different area of the database and pulled it from a different location.
So does that mean that the search was done twice?
Nope, it's just how Apple has a program to store information.
Okay. Can you give us an analogy about that? Can you explain why that is? Is it like a...
Yeah, so if you think of databases, if you're familiar with like Excel spreadsheets, that's basically all this is. It's different rows and columns of information, and it's where the software is pulling the information from. It's different rows and columns, that's all.
Thank you. So I'd like to look at page 526, record 1952. What is the title?
Best ways to dispose of a body - Google search.
What time and date?
This is done on January 1st, 2023 at 4:52:16 a.m.
And that's Eastern Standard Time.
That's correct.
What is the URL?
I'll just do the beginning part. It shows www.google.com/search with the query equals best plus way plus to dispose of a body, showing the client Safari, and then it has a whole list of letters and numbers and everything else after.
And what does that mean?
Well, it shows that it was done, the search was done through Google, and the query words where it says Q equals best way to dispose of a body, that means that the user input those specific terms and hit enter to create the search to happen.
Okay. So beginning at page 527, if we look at record 1956. See that?
Yes.
Okay. And then if we go to page 533, record one, to page 533, record
1980.
Let me just check it. $1981.
Okay.
Can you explain what the pages are in the title? Can you tell me the title?
Yes. So the title for this one is 10 Ways to Dispose of a Dead Body, in parentheses, if you really need to. It says dash page 6. So that page 6 means they're on the 6th page of the website. So the website will break it down so you're not scrolling a million pages long. So you're usually at the end of the page, you'll see next page, you'll click that, and it goes to the next part of the website for the story or however it goes. So that page 6 indicates that they're on the 6th page of the website. And they do this for advertising reasons and, like I said, keeping things short and concise.
So earlier in the records, if we had started at page 527, 1956, that was page 527, 1956 was just regular.
Yes, that's the, doesn't have a page number, but it looks like it's the opening page to the website for whataculture.com, offbeat 10 Ways to Dispose of a Body.
And then if we went to 528, 1962, what would the title be?
10 Ways to Dispose of a Body, if you really need to, dash page 2, the 2nd page of the article.
Okay, so what does that indicate?
That the user clicked to go to that next page, then showing that also that the visit count is 4, so it's per the user's been there before.
Thank you. Looking at page 534, record 1986.
All right, learning about when that Google search was made, January 1st, 4:52 a.m. Eastern Time. The first
They
one.
have begun. But you made a point. I mean, from his if you're a juror and you're taking his perspective, you're like, all right, well, he's got this dead wife and he thinks he has to do something, so he checks in with old Google, see what to do.
I panicked, didn't know what to do, who to call. I checked Google. That's where everybody goes these days, Google.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
ChatGPT.
Hey, this is their defense. They're sticking with it. Let's get a break when we come back. Matt. Welcome back to Court TV Live along with Kelly Craft. I'm Ted Rollins. We are focusing on death in Massachusetts today. Busy day. We got a couple new trial in Georgia. We've got Luigi Mangione in court in New York. But we're watching this case, the defendant here, Brian Walshe, and he's accused, of course, of murdering his wife, Anna.
Prosecutors say that he killed Anna back in 2023, and then he spent several days trying to conceal the crime before she was ultimately reported missing by her employer. Her employer called and wondered where she was, but her body has never been found.
Joining us now live from outside the courthouse. There he is, Matt Johnson inside day 2 here. What stood out so far from today's testimony to you, Matt?
Ted, Kelly, nice to see you both. Day 2 in the murder trial of Brian Walshe, 3 years in the making here in Dedham, Massachusetts. And the focus is really on what he was doing during that initial investigation. Today, we're hearing from the lead detective back on the stand, finishing his testimony. The jury hearing more about the police interviews with defendant Brian Walshe, blaming his 6-year-old son for the searches about blood and disposing of the body. Take a listen.
How do you explain at, well, 4:54 in the morning, the iPad here, the iPad and he is Guarino, maybe 10 best ways to dispose of the body?
Thomas is in his room with the iPad. Thomas is usually, I don't use that iPad.
There is dozens of searches in that iPad on the morning of the 1st that ask how to dispose of the body, how to get blood out of hardwood floors, how to dispose of a body in the trash, how to stop a body from decomposing, and how do you explain that?
I have no idea.
You've learned in your investigation of this case, haven't you, that the searches that you were asking Mr. Walshe about at that time, those searches were not, in fact, conducted on the mini iPad that was associated with his son, correct?
Yes, they were synced to that, but they did not occur on that iPad, is my understanding.
He never used his young son's mini iPad to conduct any of those searches that we've heard about, correct?
Correct.
Accused wife killer Brian Walshe facing life behind bars if convicted, showing no emotion in court today. His mom also in court offering support. She's also listening to a lot of these bad facts.
Yeah, a lot of bad details for her to have to take in, Matt. Talk to us about the cross. We've seen defense counsel there really kind of go after a lot of the people on the stand so far. What stood out to you, Matt?
And we're going to hear a lot more about that too, Kelly, with this defense team going after the investigators in this case, including the one that's on the stand right now, part of the initial Karen Reed investigation. So we're going to hear about that. But we're also hearing a lot of reasonable doubt that they're trying to raise. And we heard that yesterday with the bombshell during opening statements when they claimed that Brian Walshe came downstairs and discovered his wife dead in their home. And we don't know how she died. That's what they're trying to say. They're also trying to raise reasonable doubt in who did the initial searches on the iPad and those devices, and also how his hand got cut in the first place. Take a listen to this.
Those two exhibits that were shown, Exhibit 48 and 49, they showed what appeared to be cuts on the hands of Mr. Walshe, correct?
Yes.
You have no idea how those cuts occurred, do you?
Correct.
You don't have any idea when they occurred, do you?
Correct. Well, I do know they occurred before the photo was taken, obviously.
I'm sorry?
They occurred before the photo was taken, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
Now, in real time, of course, we are at our lunch break here in Dedham, Massachusetts, and then Trooper Guarino, who was part of the Karen Reed investigation, will be back on the stand and going through his key evidence that he's talking about with the devices, and then it'll be the cross-examination, and that's going to be something to watch for.
Okay, Matt Johnson, our eyes and ears inside that courtroom. Matt, thank you. Let's head back to the courtroom. Matt, as Matt just said, there on the lunch break, they were just a little bit behind. We're catching up with the end of the morning session with those Google searches. Let's go back in.
What is the title?
How long before a body starts to smell? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 4:55:25 a.m.
And what does Google search indicate there to you?
Again, that the user input how long before before a body starts to smell and did the actual web search.
Looking at page 547, record 2029. What is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to inheritance? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
That was on January 1st, 2023 at 6:24:44 a.m.
And what does Yahoo search results indicate?
This was done on a Yahoo search engine.
So you previously explained Google search. Can you explain Yahoo search?
It's the same thing. It's just a different search engine that the user can utilize to search whatever they're looking for.
Looking at page 543, record 2014. Can you tell me what that title is?
It's the same whataculture.com article, 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to, page 7.
And what is the time and date for this?
January 1st, 2023 at 5:47:38 a.m.
So what does this indicate?
Again, a user had physically gone to page 7 of this article on the website.
And is this at a different time than had gone to the article pages 1 through 6 that we previously saw?
Yes, I believe there was a 45 or an hour difference.
And if we go to page 545 and 545 into 546, what page does this article end on?
Record 2023 shows it at page 11. Yeah, does it go to the following page? Yeah, that's where it ends. Yeah, page 11 at 5:48:22 a.m.
And what is the significance of that, seeing that page 11?
As I said, that the user physically went 11 pages deep into this article.
Looking at page 547, record 2031, what is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to be dead? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 6:25:17 a.m.
Looking at page 563, record 2082. What is the title?
The title is Tishman Spire, Washington, D.C. head, Yahoo search results.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:44:46 a.m.
And you are familiar with these searches. There are multiple searches about Tishman Spire, is that correct?
That is correct.
And what is the title of the search on page 567, record 2096?
This is Lowe's dash Google search.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:48:04 a.m.
What is the title on page 576, record 2125?
Uh,
2125, 576.
Should be down further.
Sorry, Ms. Gilman, I know I'm asking a lot.
There we go.
Thank you. What is the title?
Title is How Long Does DNA Last?, which is a Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m.
Trooper, what is...
Object, Judge, in this.
from the sidebar first.
Yes.
All right, let's get a break. Sidebar there. We'll head back into the courtroom and finish up the morning testimony when we return.
The disappearance of Anna Walshe.
Her husband now charged with her murder.
All eyes on this accused killer.
The disappearance of Anna Walshe murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, nearly 3 years after Anna Walshe vanished, her husband stands trial for her murder. We'll break down today's dramatic testimony from the case against Brian Walshe.
Closing Arguments tonight at 8, 7 Central, only on Court TV.
Welcome back. We're in Dedham, Massachusetts this morning. Day 2 of the murder trial for Brian Walshe, the Massachusetts father accused of killing his wife Anna, dismembering her, all taking place New Year's Day 2023.
As jury selection began last month, Walshe admitted that he disposed of Anna's body and misled police after her disappearance, but he did not admit to murdering her.
Let's go back in the courtroom now, hearing more of those incriminating Google searches found on Walsh's devices.
What is the title on page 578, record 2125?
How long does DNA last? Dash Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m.
And there is a line, redirect URL. What is that?
So if you look at the redirect URL is when you explain this. You're going to a website and you click on it, but it redirects you to a separate, not a separate website, but something similar. So if you look, it says, you know, slate.news, it's an article, but it says, is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? So it's similar search terms, but not exactly what you search. So it's redirecting you to similar items. The website's doing that, I should say. It's not the user doing it.
So the browser is sending you to a suggested website?
That's correct. So I'm sure people have done this. Those who haven't, that when you go to type in something in your phone or your MacBook, it gives you those suggested terms. That's similar to what this is.
Thank you. So if we look at record 2127 on that same page, 578, what is the title?
Sorry, 2127 you said?
Yes, please.
Sorry. Is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? Question mark.
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:34:39 a.m.
Did the user go directly there or was the user redirected?
From this, it looks that the user was redirected from the original search term items that they put in.
And did the user stay on that website?
It shows visit count 1. If you can go down just to the next couple, I could tell time difference wise. Down one more. The next search is done approximately a minute later. So it would stand that this website was up for a short amount of time and then the next search was done.
So what does that mean?
They were there for about a minute and then the next search comes in at 9:35:52.
Thank you. What is the title on page 579, record 2129?
Can identification be made on partial human remains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:35:52 a.m.
What is the title on page 583, record 2141?
How to dispose of a cell phone? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:59:25 a.m.
What is the title on page 584, record 2144?
How to dispose of a computer, Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:59:55 a.m.
What is the title on page 589, record 2159?
I am a user of my wife's credit card. She is missing. Can I still use the card? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29:16 a.m.
What is the title on page 591, record 2166?
My wife is missing. What should I do? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29:59 a.m.
What is the title on page 592 into 593, record 2170?
Yeah, title is Your Spouse is Missing and You Want a Divorce / Hello Divorce.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:49 a.m.
What is the title on page 596, record 2185?
It's ways to dispose of body parts after murder. Yahoo search results.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023, 11:28:43 a.m.
What is the title on page 597, record 2189?
6 ways to dispose of a body - murder, murder, murder.
And what is the URL?
www.murdermurdermurder.com/blog. 2017 522 6 ways to dispose of a body.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:28:47 a.m.
What is the title on page 596, record 2193?
Patrick Kearney, Google search.
Did you review that search?
Yes, I did.
Who is Patrick Kearney?
He was named the trash bag killer. He would murder victims and throw their corpses away into trash bags.
What is the time and date?
Objection.
You want to be heard?
Yes.
Let's see at the second.
Okay, on a search that we haven't heard
something new.
before. Yeah, searching serial killer.
Trash bag killer.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't search that. That's what the guy was, a trash bag killer.
Right, Joe Hennessy watching along. These searches are not good. I don't know, you just can't really, with a straight face, say to these members of the jury, oh, it's no big deal. He's not searching, why do people die in their sleep? Or can an adult woman just up and die? No, he's searching other nefarious things. Your thoughts?
That last question, and it was objected to regarding the time of the trash bag killer search, raises some concern, because if the search was made prior to that evening, then it might show that there was premeditation here. There's still no body. So he's making these searches, and I think that I'm not sure what the evidence is that was found at the crime scene, whether there was blood anywhere, if it showed a violent struggle. Does that help establish the premeditation, or does it establish that there was a violent act that took place that caused the death of Anna? So it's still raising some concern as to whether the Commonwealth is going to be able to prove that this was either first degree or second degree.
And Joe, we talk about it all the time, the prosecution has such a high burden, always, beyond a reasonable doubt. It is a high burden, but sometimes when you take a look at a case like this, and I know you've expressed some potential doubts, sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I feel like the prosecution is going to be able to meet its burden, but maybe not, but it is a high burden.
Well, you have to look at the time of these searches. These searches are taking place at 4:52, I think, was one of the times when he first started making those searches regarding the disposing of the body. That is going to rest in the jurors' minds as to whether this act was a murder. But I think they're going to have difficulty showing that if it was premeditated, because none of these searches took place prior to that evening.
Gotta run. Joe, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Back after this.
And welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Kelly Craft in this afternoon for Julia Janae. Thank you so much for being with us. We are tracking several cases here at Court TV. In New York, suspected United Healthcare CEO shooter Luigi Mangione. He is back in court for day 2 of his suppression hearing, and the court has been watching body cam video of that arrest. Also, we are in Mississippi. A judge sentenced Sheldon Timothy Harrington to 40 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to murdering an Ole Miss grad. Also in Georgia, a jury is hearing day 1 of testimony in the murder trial of former pageant queen Trinity Pogue. She's on trial for the murder of her boyfriend's toddler son. Also, we are in Massachusetts. Day 2 of Brian Walshe's murder trial, that is underway. He is accused of killing his missing wife, Anna, but his defense says she died a sudden death. Let's get you back inside that courtroom now. Still on the stand, the digital forensics expert who is testifying about Walshe's internet searches around the time of the alleged murder.
Looking at page 603, record 2207. Can you tell me what the title is?
Cleaning up a dead body / Wired, YouTube. So it shows a YouTube video.
I was just going to say, what is YouTube?
YouTube is a video website where companies can upload whatever videos they want.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:41:50 a.m.
What is the title on page 605, record 2214?
How to clean blood from a wood floor, Google search.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:44:32 a.m.
And then page 609, record 2229. What is the title?
Can I use bleach to clean my wood floors from blood stains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:05 a.m.
And what is the title on page 638, record 2321?
You said the title? Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, the title.
What does bleach do to due to dead bodies Google search.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:10:07 p.m.
What is the title on page 647, record 2351?
Want to get away with murder? ? Use special detergent / Discover magazine.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:18:03 p.m.
What is the title on page 650, record 2364?
Is it better to throw away crime scene clothes or wash them? Google search.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:21:39 p.m.
What is the title on page 657, record 2386?
How to use hydrogen peroxide on bloodstains? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:48:14 p.m.
And what is the title directly below that, record 2387?
How to clean bloodstains with hydrogen peroxide - YouTube. It's a video of those search terms.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:48:43 p.m.
What is the title on page 659, record 2394?
Should I use hydrogen peroxide 8 on bloodstains in concrete? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:53:44 p.m.
What is the title on page 665, record 2413?
Can the FBI tell when you accessed your phone? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 1:43:02 p.m.
What is the title on page 670, record 2430?
Does the dishwasher clean blood? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 1:52:26 p.m.
What is the title on page 671, record 2433?
Is it possible that a knife which had blood on it remains contaminated with HIV after it has been washed with hot water and dishwasher soap - Guarino?
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023, 1:52:57 p.m.
What is the title on page 693, record 2502?
How to remove a SIM card from an iPhone? Yahoo search.
What time and date?
January 2nd, 2023 at 2 o'clock in the morning, a.m.
And what follows that search, record 2503?
The Apple support website. Remove or switch the SIM card in your iPhone - Apple support.
And what is the date and time for that?
January 2nd, 2023, 2 a.m. in 15 seconds.
What is the title on page 694, record 2507?
How to remove a hard drive from an Apple laptop - Yahoo search results.
And what is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 2:01:19 a.m.
What is the title on page 699, record 2524?
TJ Maxx near me, Norwell - Yahoo search results.
What is the time and date?
January 2nd, 2023, 5:24:08 a.m.
What is the title on page 717, record 2580?
How long do stores keep security footage? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 2nd, 2023, 10:32:43 a.m.
What is the title on page 724 into 725, record 2608?
How to saw a body? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:27:31 p.m.
What is the title on page 725, record 2610?
How to dismember a body? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:27:43 p.m.
What is the title on page 730, record 2626?
Hacksaw, the best tool for dismembering a body. Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:33:48 p.m.
What is the title on page 733, record 2633?
Details of dismemberment discussed in murder trial / Wayne 15.
What is the date and time?
Those are some Google searches. So more of the Brian Walshe murder trial in Massachusetts when we come back. You're watching Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice. Don't go anywhere.
Disappearance of Anna Walshe.
Her husband now charged with her murder.
All eyes on this accused killer.
The disappearance of Anna Walshe murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, nearly 3 years after Anna Walshe vanished, her husband stands trial for her murder. We'll break down today's dramatic testimony from the case against Brian Walshe.
Closing Arguments tonight at 8, 7 Central, only on Court TV.
Back now to Massachusetts. It is day 2 of the murder trial against Brian Walshe. He is accused of first-degree murder in the death of his missing wife, Anna. Now, Walshe denies that he killed her, but he pleaded guilty last month to not only misleading police, but also unlawful disposal of her body. Her remains have yet to be found. Right now, the jury has been listening to a digital forensics expert who has been testifying about Walsh's Google searches. Let's go back in for more.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:42:59 p.m.
What is the title on page 735, record 2638?
Can you be charged with murder without a body? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:47:01 p.m.
What is the title on page 738, record 2647?
Murder conviction without a body - Wikipedia.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:47:10 p.m.
What is the title on page 738, record 2649?
No corpse, ? No problem. Notable murder convictions without a body - A&E True Crime.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:51:47 p.m.
What is the title on page 745, record 2670? 7:45,
Right
record
there.
2670.
Actually starts on 7:44, just so the record's clear.
Thank you very much.
Can you identify a body with broken teeth? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:12:46 p.m.
What is the title on page 746 into 747, record 2674?
Disposing of a body in the trash. Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:14:51 p.m.
What is the title on page 769, record 2747?
Chatham West Apartments Rentals - Brockton MA Zillow.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:34:35 p.m.
What is the title on page 777, record 2768?
The Claremont Apartments Rentals, Abington, Mass. Zillow.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:36:14 p.m.
What is the title on page 787, record 2798?
What powder mass smells the best? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 2:51:28 p.m.
What is the title on page 797, record 2830?
Can I mix white vinegar to stop smells? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 7:09:03 p.m.
What is the title on page 798, record 2832?
Can baking soda make a dead body smell good? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:15:55 a.m.
What is the title on page 807, record 2856?
Cleaning up blood without leaving a trace - 5 tips, aftermath services.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 5:03:06 a.m.
What is the title on page 819, record 2900?
Are footprints easy to wash away? Google search.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 6:55:58 a.m.
What is the title on page 858, record 3025?
How long for a dismembered body to decompose? Yahoo search results.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:02:23 p.m.
What is the title on page 860, record 3033?
Body found at trash station. Yahoo search results.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:05:50 p.m.
What is the title on page 866, record 3056?
Can a body decompose in a plastic bag? Yahoo search results.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 1:12:50 p.m.
What is the title of page 888, record 3127?
Can police get your search history without your computer? Google search.
What date and time?
January 3rd, 2023, 7:38 p.m.
What is the title on page 904, record 3184?
Does a cell phone track your historical location? Yahoo search results.
And what is the date and time?
January 4th, 2023, 8:55:27 a.m.
Are there any searches from January 4th at 8:03 p.m. to January 7th at 3:58 p.m.?
I don't believe so. On the MacBook on?
On the MacBook from January 4th at 8:03 p.m. January 4th to January 7th at 3:58 p.m.
Well, this last search was done at 8:55, so wouldn't it be 8:03?
Okay, so from 8:55 p.m.
I don't believe so. I'd have to see.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Just see that there's more pages. I forget the exact dates. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Just want to double check. Thank you. There's not.
And then starting at January 7th at 3:58 p.m., what is the first search?
That's listed here. It says Chase credit card login Google search.
And can you give us a page and a record number?
Yes. In the book, page 906, record number 3195.
Why don't we go ahead and bring in National Trial Attorney Michael Schaefer to talk about what we've been seeing so far. Michael, great to see you. Thank you for being with us today. All right, what are you making of these Google searches and how the prosecutor is going about the questioning here?
The hottest seat in that courtroom is the one that's sat in by the defense attorney, because the defense attorney is going to have to stand up and talk at the end of this. That was the most withering attack I've ever seen by any prosecutor related to Google searches. That is the most withering attack. I hear that when people train for like high-end positions in the military, they're like put through rigorous training to get themselves ready for what they're going to see in the battlefield. I feel like every single defense attorney, before they become a defense attorney, needs to sit through something like that or watch that exact withering attack to get themselves ready, because when you're a defense attorney, you don't get the events the way you want. You have to react to events that your client has already put their foot in their mouth long before they've ever met you. This Brian Walshe guy, if he really did do these Google searches, oh my God, if you're the defense attorney, what do you even do? That's my response.
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly what he comes up with when that cross-examination takes place. Michael, I know you're going to stick around with us, so we'll get to that in a moment. But right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to have more of the Brian Walshe murder trial when we come back. And welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Kelly Craft. Now let's head back to Dedham, Massachusetts, where defendant Brian Walshe is standing trial on charges that he murdered his wife, Anna. Prosecutors said that Walshe killed Anna. This was back in 2023, and then spent several days trying to conceal the crime before she was ultimately reported missing by her employer. Her body has never been found. Right now, we've been listening to a digital forensics expert who is testifying about Walsh's many Google searches around the time. That's what the prosecutor says. The prosecutor says they were done by Walshe. Why don't we go back in to hear some more?
Thank you. So did you look at any searches prior to January 1st?
Yes.
And I'd like to start with page 521. Looking at page 521, Ms. Gilman. Looking at 521, record 1938. I'm sorry, 1939, please. Trooper, can you tell me what time this occurred?
Yes, it says January 1st, 2023 at 3:49:39 a.m.
And can you tell me what's happening in this record number?
It shows the URL for accounts.google.com for, it's like the Gmail, a login through the web.
And going to 1940, record 1940 on the next page, that being 522, does that continue?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And going to page 524, does that continue until record 1947?
Yes, it does.
And what date and time does that end?
The last one shows January 1st, 2023, 3:50:06 a.m. And then the following is about an hour later.
Thank you. Now looking at page 225 into 226, record 825. Can you tell me the title being looked at?
Yep. It says cheating wife seduces another man to impregnate her. Scarlet scandal, Seth Gamble, erotica x-pornhub.com.
And what is the date and time?
12/27/2022, 12:06:28 a.m.
And this continues on record 826, is that correct?
Yes, it's a duplicate from the previous.
Okay. And 827, could you go down, Ms. Gilman? Could you go down, please?
Yep. It's there. The title's on the right there at the top.
Okay. If you could keep going down, though, please. Okay. And if you could tell me, if you could keep going down, I'm sorry, to 828. And what is this?
It says chat with Miss_B in a live adult video chat room now.
And what time is that?
12:06:28 a.m. on December 27th, 2022.
Okay. And if this continues until record 831, if you could go to 831, please, Ms. Gilman. Is that correct with Pornhub, Trooper?
Yes, it's there for about 7 or so minutes.
Thank you. And page 241 to 242, record 891. What is that title, please?
Best divorce strategies for men, Yahoo search results.
And what is the date?
December 27th, 2022, 8:33:53 p.m.
And page 253, record 935. What is the title, please?
Best date to divorce for a man, Google search.
And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022, 8:51:33 p.m.
And page 256, record 934. What is the title?
It's at 934 or 943?
943, I'm sorry.
5 best and 5 worst states to get divorced in the U.S.
And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022, 8:52 p.m. 8:52:39 p.m.
Thank you. Page 257, record 945. What is the title?
Washington, D.C. divorce laws, Google search.
And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022, 8:54, 13 p.m.
And you have the binder exhibit in front of you, but if you look between records 891 and 934, what does the Safari history show to you between those record numbers, 891 and 934? What topic articles are being looked at?
Are we up? Is this, I'm sorry, what number is this one we're on? The divorce laws, if you scroll up?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is 945.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If we look at record numbers 891 through 934.
They're all showing websites regarding divorce, divorce advice, mistakes in divorce, using verbal abuse, don't split up like this, the 10 stupidest mistakes men make facing divorce. It's all divorce related.
Thank you. So if we look at page 259, record 951. What is the title being looked at?
Can you scroll down a little more? There. Oh, if you scroll back up, I'll just read it from the URL. So it's a Google search for Chase login credit card, and then it does a redirect to the Chase that does it again. It's duplicated.
Okay. And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022 at 8:57, 13 p.m.
Okay. And this goes on to record 1026 on page 279 if you look in the binder. Is that correct?
Yes, showing all Chase account information, the Chase website for the account. Yep.
Trooper, if you look at page 508, record 1890.
Okay.
What is the title?
Replay poker - Google search.
And what is the date and the time?
12/31/2022, 6:53 p.m.
Your Honor, I am about to change topics. Would this be a good time to stop for lunch?
Sure.